All right, frontal blessings. Situated here. We are back for another video. But real quick, before I do that, a couple quick announcements. If you are interested in signing up for the various different classes that I do offer, I have a bunch of ongoing series right now on the various different occult left-hand path topics, Sith classes, ancient Egyptian vampiric classes, telepathic sorcery, Luciferian magic and self-mastery, shadow work classes, 18 knee-deep and counting, Kundalini yoga, meditation and awakening class, esoterical occult Bible study class. These are all ongoing series with more. Those just to name a few. The best way to sign up for the classes I do is to the official Primordial Chaos Patreon page located at patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti, patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti, tier 3. That's the tier you want to join. Tier 3 gives you access to the 3 private classes I do every month on Patreon for Patreon members only. And I cover a bunch of different content on there. Not like what I do here on YouTube, a little bit different, a little bit more detailed and personal. And it's a good way to fellowship with other people on this path. So come join the live classes that I do every month. And it also gives you access to the group ritual we do at the end of the month. Okay. There's also mentorship tiers on there, tiers 5, 6, and 7. But please only sign up with a mentorship program and with myself if you are committed, you have the time, and you're willing to put the effort, energy, and work in. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste my time. Just going to keep it straight to the point for you. All right, if you're interested in a spiritual reading or a consultation, I offer various different readings, telepathic demonic readings, Santa Muerte readings, Egyptian oracle readings, deity readings to see what demons, gods, and goddesses walk with you, shadow work readings, which is always a great thing to do to keep mastering the shadow and the hidden self, to keep on perfecting yourself and awakening that personal demon within. For a full list of readings and how to book a reading or a consultation, shoot me an email, khnum19@gmail.com. Also, the 6th annual Journey of the Black Adept Conference is in full effect. You can sign up and register for that right now. People are now signing up. It is starting to fill up. But you can register for that conference now. Cutoff date, I believe we're going to officially cut it off the 12th of October, the 11th or the 12th. I got to go look at that date. But it's getting, people are starting now to sign up. It's going to take place in Hollywood, Florida, October 19th to the 22nd. There'll be workshops, classes, speakers, presentations, rituals, some socializing to them, some having fun, kicking it. We kick it off with a meet and greet on Thursday the 19th. 20 and 21st are the big heavy days of classes, workshops, and rituals and socializing. And then we close the event out on the 22nd, that's Sunday of October. I'll be doing a Q&A session, question and answer on anything you want to talk about. You could also attend virtually. That gives you access to the classes, workshops, and speakers and presenters on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Shoot me an email, khnum19@gmail.com, and I will send you that information on how to register for the 6th annual Journey of the Black Adept Conference. 6 years and counting. Also check us out on Primordial Chaos 9, all one word, on Instagram. Check us out also Primordial Chaos, 2 words, on Facebook. And also all this new content is being uploaded to the Primordial Chaos podcast page, which is available on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. The direct link to the podcast, the link to the Facebook and Instagram page, my contact email address, the direct link to the Patreon page of Primordial Chaos to sign up for classes. All of that is in the description box of this video that you're currently watching right now. All right, so what I'm inspired to talk about as I am en route to doing the second day of my 9 rounds, my routine on Thursday and Friday, even though I do 9 rounds earlier in the week, but I also do my full body weightlifting. So stop 1 of 2. As I'm headed there, as I set out Friday morning, I have a regular ritual practice where I work with Shaitan and the Jinn. And as part of this practice, there's work I do through the Devil's Quran. And in the Surah of Darkness, something that stood out to me today that really connected to Sith energy because there's a strong connection there. In the Story of Darkness, and I believe it's verses, I could be 31 or 32, but I could be wrong. But it's in the Story of Darkness, that I do know. It stood out to me, and I said, man, it resonated with me so strong as I was in the middle of my meditation and doing my ritual work, this morning. It said, truly peace is a lie. Okay, that was the first statement, right? Truly peace is a lie. Okay? Success. Okay? Growth. And this is kind of how I interpret it. Truly peace is a lie. You only obtain true peace, right? Which is different from this illusionary peace. True self-mastery is through your passion and your strength. Peace is truly a lie. You will only gain success and that true inner peace on a personal level through your strength and your passion. And this is how it's worded in the Story of Darkness. So I said to myself, that's very Sith in nature. Let's talk about this. The Sith philosophy, and we do have, as I said, an ongoing class that I do on Patreon right now as I speak. It's called Sith, Dark Side, Alchemy, and Philosophy. And I show you how you use the Sith teachings, how you use the Sith philosophy and Sith alchemy as a tool of self-mastery, using it ritualistically, how you take that mythos and use it ritualistically, just like you would any other pantheon. Right? Because Sith philosophy and Sith alchemy are very in line with Luciferian practices. It's very in line with working with Shaitan, the Iblis, the Jinn. There's a lot of similarities. Now, I've always said phonetically, I don't believe it's a coincidence. The term Sith, and one of the terms for the Egyptian god Set is Sith. Sith. I just don't think that that's a coincidence. Now, in working with the Sith, I don't really, I love the Star Wars trilogy, the Star Wars, the movies and this and that, but I don't really focus on it in that commercialized aspect. Yes, the movies are great to watch. There's a lot of gems you can pull out of them, but some people are into the Sith philosophy from a very movie type of perspective, and that's cool. But I'm not really into it. I'm more focused on the spiritual philosophy and how you can utilize that, the practices, the exercises, the knowledge, right? How you can use that spiritual practice to master yourself. So I want to make that clear. But if you've done a little research on George Lucas, you will find out if you understand the story of Star Wars, right? You look at Darth Vader, he's obviously represents the adversary, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about the story and what the symbolicisms that we can pull from it, right? Some say it's a representation of that war that took place recorded in the Bible of light versus darkness. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels, right? So some say that Star Wars, in the heavens and the galaxies, it was that war between light and darkness, right? With Darth Vader being a representation of the mask of the adversary, right? You see all the overtones there, right? When you understand the trilogy and you go even deeper back and you understand the story of how he became Darth Vader from Anakin Skywalker, it kind of represents us in the sense that we were given all these illusionary aspects of peace, right? We were given all these lies. We were given all this deception in the form that was made to look good from us. Now, Anakin goes obviously to a dark place because there was real disappointment there, right? Because something that he had felt he built his whole life up, just like we have in this world, and then when we find out it's an illusion, it's disappointment. Not disappointment to the self where we sink into our sorrows and depressions, but it motivated us to go another direction. That there's got to be more to this. This can't be it. You understand? So, whether you draw from the storylines of the Star Wars trilogy, which there's a lot of nonsense in there, you can, right? That's what I use the movies for. I don't use it to play Sith, to do, cosplay and all that. And again, if that's your thing, that's your thing, right? But I just want to make it clear, we're focusing on the spiritual philosophy of Sith practices. And that's what I teach in my Sith classes. If you've taken the Sith classes, you know, right? Which we'll be back on that next month. I think we're up to, class 8 or 9. That's another ongoing series, right? So, as I'm doing my ritual work this morning, connecting with Shaitan and the Jinn and the powers of darkness, to instill in me that knowledge, that higher wisdom, that understanding, that hidden gnosis of self, that hidden gnosis of what we're calling, the void, the abyss, darkness, all of these things. This is just resonating in my head. Truly, peace is a lie, right? Success is gained through your strength and your passion, right? And that's almost like the Sith Creed, peace is a lie. There's only passion. Passion fuels. It's the determining factor of how bad you want it. How seriously are you going at this? What type of effort and energy are you really putting in? To understand Sith philosophy and Sith spiritual practice, it's about, one, strengthening your willpower. And willpower is everything in Sith philosophy. How strong is your willpower? Because your willpower determines, it's very strongly connected to the level of passion and energy that you put in to your goals and what you're trying to achieve and your desires and all the things you are trying to master about yourself and all the levels in your life that you're trying to become successful is fueled by the passion and the desire you have for that. And the problem sometimes I find that people just are fooling themselves. They don't have the passion and the desire. They're very lackadaisical in their approach. They could be straight up lazy. And then on the flip note, are still confused and baffled why maybe things ain't manifesting the way that they want them. So the next time you feel like that's happening, be honest with yourself. Say, well, look, am I passionate about what I'm doing? Do I really believe in myself? Now that comes up all the time. Do we deal with belief on this path? Yes, belief in ourselves, in the knowledge that we have acquired. It's a personal belief. Not a fictitious belief, a fairy tale, mythological belief. Not a belief that somebody, a pastor, a reverend, an imam, or whoever has forced us to embrace. No, that's not that belief. We have a personal belief in ourselves based on the knowledge we have obtained, the things we have been able to confirm for ourselves. So the question you need to ask yourself, like Sith philosophy, how passionate are you about what you do? Be real with yourself. Because if there's no passion and you don't have no strength, you don't have no power, right? How bad, the things you claim you want to fix about yourself, or the things you feel you need to change in your life, or the things or the goals you're trying to accomplish, right? And we always should have some type of goals, something that we are always striving to be working towards, because that fuels the passion, that keeps us motivated. But then the question is, what level of effort and energy? It's like what I tell you guys all the time about the mentorship programs. That's what I'm saying. How passionate are you about your spiritual path and your growth, right? If you don't have the time and whatever the cost is to invest in your spiritual growth, and not that my mentorship programs, I'm not saying that because they're expensive. They're not. They're very cheap and reasonably priced. But I'm not just talking about the investment of finances. I'm talking about how much time and energy are you willing to sacrifice, right? Because we all live in a very busy world. A lot of us, the world has changed. It's not like it used to be years ago. A lot of us are working crazy schedules or running businesses that demand a lot of our time. We're raising family and children. We're constantly on the go, but that's not an excuse. I'm on the go. You see, I film all these videos while I'm on the go. I'm busy 7 days out of the week, whether it's my professional life, whether it's my spiritual life, doing this. I'm putting up YouTube videos constantly. I'm doing YouTube lives. I'm operating a Patreon page. I have a professional career that I work full time. I got children just like you guys. I got a little guy, as you know. His travel hockey, takes up a lot of my time. Look, we all can come up with a million excuses why we can't do something, right? You hear me say this all the time. But we never, ever come up factually with one or even 2 or 3 legitimate reasons of why we can do something. It's so funny how somebody can quickly just rattle off a million different excuses why they can't do something. That's easy. Oh, I can't do it. I'm busy. I got 3 kids. I got to go pick this kid up from school. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And then when I turn to them and go, well, give me 1 or 2 reasons why you can. And then they stall. That's a lack of passion, people. That's my point. You think, look, I wish sometimes I could, occasionally here and there, I give myself a lazy day. And at the end of the year, I focus on myself from the holiday season. So I have a system, it's planned. As you guys know, from Thanksgiving to New Year's Day, I shut down. I love that time of the year. I love the energy. I love everything about that time of the year. I do personal work. I spend time with family. I absorb. I really devour and absorb the energy of the holiday season. I love everything about it. Football, hockey, Christmas, New Year's, family, friends, food, all that shit. I love all that shit. There's power in all that. So I know myself. So I have myself on a regimen and a system. Occasionally I give myself here and there throughout the year a lazy day or 2 here and there. Because rightfully so, we all deserve that. But shit, I wish I could just lay around with the remote in my hand like some folks do and watch goddamn Netflix all day. I know you guys bring tons of movies to me. Hey, Baniti, check out this movie. Hey, Baniti, check out that movie. I got a shitload of them saved in my favorites, but sometimes I just don't have the time to get to it. And I'm not saying because anybody watches. Look, I like to watch movies when I can, but I wish I could sit around like some of these regular folks that aren't on this path and just watch movies all fucking day and just do nothing. But then if I did that, nothing would get done. Right? So part of your passion is, what are you willing to sacrifice? See? That's the thing. Some people want to come on this path and they still want to do everything the way they did it, but they want to reap all the benefits and the blessings and all the pathways and the doors opening to success, but they don't want to be passionate about what they do, and they don't want to sacrifice anything. That's the fucking problem. And change is a sacrifice. Over the years, I've had to change a lot of things. And connected to a lot of those changes were things I sacrificed. Whether that was person, places, or things. If you're doing real shadow work, you know it's about sacrifice and change. Right? Especially change. And change sometimes is not a pleasant thing. It could be very disruptive. It could involve a lot of energy and power in that change. But if that change is going to be beneficial for your growth, then you must sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed so you can obtain that change. It's that simple. Okay? Nothing changes by just sitting by idly and not doing anything. Okay? You can't do that and then turn around, bitch, and complain. Nothing's happening. Nothing's working for me. And then the one thing that I despise is somebody who's looking for crutches to lean on and scapegoats and trying to blame people and things outside of themselves and don't want to take any credibility or accountability for their fuck-ups, for their shortcomings and their failures. A true Sith doesn't do that. If passion is your power, which is one of the main Sith codes, if passion is your power, you need to check the level of your passion, the determination of your passion. Is it strong? Is it fiery? Are you really aggressive about by any means necessary, like Malcolm X said, by any means necessary? Are you willing to do by any means necessary of what you need to do to accomplish your goals? If you're not, then get the fuck off this path. It's not for you. Go back to being a fluffy bunny. Yes, I'm going to call for what it is, because when that Sith energy comes through, it's aggressive. Go back. It's not compassionate for weak-minded people. When I tap into Sith energy, I have no compassion for weak-minded individuals who bitch, moan, and complain and always got a story and an excuse and always play. I hate people that play the role of victim all the time. I feel, I told you many times over the years, when a person, I'm not saying all the time, but when a person is constantly starting off a sentence with I, be careful. That's not a good sign. That's usually the sign of a very insecure individual who's got mental problems, he or she, and is dealing with a lot of insecurities and fears. Okay? So this ain't about finding a crutch to lean on. This ain't about finding a scapegoat for, to blame for your failures. Okay, this is about standing on your two feet strongly and firm and taking control of your life and taking accountability. Right? I've been through the whole karma thing. You guys understand that now. Okay? And understanding Sith philosophy and the path of the Sith, it can be very, challenging. It's going to challenge your mental fortitude. That's why, in some of the earlier Sith classes, and a lot of the Sith work that we've done is on mastering our willpower, strengthening it, right? Which I'm going to do a part 2 to this video because I'm almost at my destination. I'm going to talk about that, behaviors and things of that nature, mastering the will. I'm going to get into that a little bit. I'll do that in the second video. There definitely will be another part to this, 100%, because there's more I want to pull from this. But as I was doing my work this morning, that's sometimes how the spirits work. That's how they communicate. I was just receiving this inner gnosis. It was just resonating through every core of my being when I was doing my ritual work this morning. I said, wow. I said, this is a moment of Kepra awareness, of awakening, right? Of coming into the realization of who and what I really am. The real you. That's when the demonic self or the personal daemon is so ingrained and connected to your superconscious mind, not your subconscious mind, right? It's the superconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious, right? That's how you know when you're in the middle of ritual work and your personal daemon is communicating or giving you these personal messages of gnosis, because it becomes the very core of your being and everything you do. Like I said, I could be talking to you now. I'm feeling my magic. I feel the presence of the daemon within, the personal daemon, the true and higher self at all times, which is connected to understanding the true activation of the black flame of consciousness. That consciousness or awareness is from that higher self, right? This is shit they don't want you to tap into or know, because the powers that be, that perpetrate all these religious dogmas, okay, the powers that be that perpetrate all these religious dogmas, you wouldn't need them no more. You wouldn't need to tap in to all of the mythologies that they promote. You wouldn't need to tap in to all of the foolishness and nonsense that they tried to get you to accept and embrace. Their religious ideologies, their faith and belief systems. You wouldn't need any of that, okay? Because you would have true knowledge of self. Your psyche would be open. You'd be fully aware. The personal daemon would be fully integrated within your superconscious. And you would be vibrating on truly what people call this God frequency, which resides within you, nobody else. Okay, this is why I say I bow down to nothing or nobody. And neither should you. And I don't say that in an arrogant, egotistical way. I say that in a very liberated and sovereign way. I've said it's a great feeling to get up every morning not being confined to that slave mentality, those systems of indoctrination that promote fear and control. It's a beautiful feeling that I wouldn't trade for anything. And once those doors of spiritual liberation and freedom are open, the world looks totally different to you, right? Life looks totally different to you. But you don't understand it, or understand it, or overstand it, or be beyond the standing, whatever the fuck term you need to float your boat, until you experience it. That's the beauty. Okay? My passion is strong. I'm confident in what I do. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in those I have around me. I'm confident in the ability of my children. I'm confident in the path that I'm navigating through. That's also part of your passion. Are you people? We hear this term even before we know. Are you passionate about what you do? Right? What's your passion? Right? We've heard these terms before. It's not new. It didn't come through the Sith. The Sith just elaborated on it and brought it out more. Okay, so this is a beautiful thing. I'm going to touch a little more on this. I've got to wrap this up. I'm running time. Got here a little bit probably later than I wanted. I'm at stop 1, 9 rounds. Let me go get my kickboxing on. If you need to reach out to me, khnum19@gmail.com to sign up for the 6th annual Journey of the Black Adam Conference. If you want to book a spiritual reading or a consultation, my contact email address, the link to the podcast, the social media pages, Instagram and Facebook, the link to the Patreon page to sign up for classes. All of that information is right in the description box of this video. We will continue this discussion. There will be a continuation of this video because I am not done. Today, the Sith energy is strong, so we're going to roll with that today. It's permeating. It's everywhere. So let's tap into that, and let me see what knowledge I can share with you here on the YouTube channel, and how you could utilize this for your own personal growth. All right. Having said that, I will see you guys on the next video. Infernal blessings, and we will talk soon.